of money that he was offering them. That's what he did. And on this, Peter Thiel in his book Zero to One has a very interesting quote. He says that the founder only sets his company when he knows that the vision either is not going to be completed, the vision, there is no longer anything left to do with the company, और कि जो है उन्हें पता है कि अब मार्केट जो है सैचुरेट हो चुकी है, जो आपने एग्जैक्ट सेम बात कही इस रिगार्ड में. वाओ, इंटरेस्टिंग. ठीक है. Now, my question to you is, about virtual reality as a technology. So, because it, in fact, is building on Metaverse. एक तरह का अपना उसका पूरा 3D ecosystem है जिसमें students की community होगी. They will be able to interact with teachers in not just real time, but also in person. एक तरह से Metaverse में. But it's still a very costly technology. Oculus, if you go out and check it out on in Amazon, it's still 35,000. So how long do you think that the VR technology will get cheap enough that everyone will be able to access it, and उसी से impact का जो adoption है वो भी increase हो जाएगा? So these things go side by side, बिल्कुल synergy में. What do you think about that?
Yeah, सारे जो questions VCs ने पूछे, then when we were doing PR interviews, we were getting the same questions. Now when I'm doing this podcast, I'm getting the same questions. So एक ही मतलब तोता हो गए हम लोग, एक ही क्वेश्चन का जवाब दे दे के, like तुम क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो मेरे दिमाग में 1 2 3 points are like ready already. So
I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
I tried best. अलग-अलग क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं.
There are not net new questions, because if you have told the same story to at least 80 times now, I think maybe 32 VCs, then around 32 PR interviews, no 20 PR interviews, and then 30 like hiring which you really wanted to hire, so you have to pitch when you are hiring as well. So after like 80 times you are not left with any net new questions, because sab पूछ ही रहते हैं सब कुछ लोग. Anyway, so coming to your question, देखो यार, Metaverse is VR is not the entry to Metaverse. First of all, that we need to understand. The way we see it, Fortnite, Roblox, these games are already some versions of Metaverse already. Your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your GitHub is already some version of your Metaverse identity, right? A lot of people are going anon and then making millions out of it, right? Your Web3, your tokenomics is some version of Metaverse already. Yes. Just that these are disjointed pieces right now, right? These are disjointed pieces. These are not completed. So VR is just one piece of it, and that's why our Metaverse as well, Metaversity, is not VR only. It's a progressive enhancement. Like you can use it on phone, you can use it on laptop, but if you use it on VR, it will be a little bit better experience. Now coming to the second part of this is, when do I feel your VR device will democratize? I think Facebook को ज़्यादा बड़ी problem है ये. So I'll let Mark handle this, because Mark is hard on getting it democratized than us doing it. But one thing which I can tell you is, it's not that costly anymore. Yeah. The thing to understand here, Bhuvanyu, is that remember, I don't know, like you are from a different generation, but in our time, we didn't have personal computers or laptops at our place, right? My dad had computer in his office, and I had a computer in my school. So I would be able to use computer either in school or in office. So work or education is always the driver of any device revolution. आप फोन भी देखोगे, मोबाइल फोन और स्मार्टफोन्स ऑफ टुडे, नोकिया का पहले ऐसा फोन आता, खुलता था ऐसे करके.
I remember.
Only high-end businessmen used to have. BlackBerry, business people used to have. Now everybody has like a 10x better than BlackBerry, right? So work and education, that drives the adoption of any new technology. So that's why we chose to go with education, because we think कि अगर आपको एक killer case मिलेगा, if you start feeling, with VR I can hang out with really great people, and I can like have a better experience, you wouldn't mind buying a 30,000 rupees VR device, क्योंकि यार उतना तो तुम बैंगलोर एक बार आओ जाओ तो तुम्हें लग जाता है. Like these days, if you come to Bangalore, stay for a month, you will spend more than 30K easily, right? So if you're if you're hanging out, if your social life is getting democratized, I feel VR is not like device is not going to be a bottleneck for you. The second part of it is also very important, right? There was a time when iPhone was like, oh my God, great design, great software, great hardware. And then this Me happened. Remember, I think it was 2014 when Xiaomi happened, and
Yeah.
Flipkart used to have like this flash sales.
Flash sale.
Right, of Xiaomi's. So, and then now suddenly everyone has like an iPhone level phone in their hand, right? So the other piece which I feel which will happen is that VR is waiting for one Chinese manufacturer. That's it, to make it $100 device, and then people will like, yeah, this is too good, and then the rich will have the 2.5 lakh device, and the entry wale jo log hai unko, you will get like $100 device, and that would be okay, and then the $100 device will keep rising in another 10 years, and then it will be there wherein you will buy a $2,000 worth of device at $100 itself. So that's how it has happened before. It's not like I'm saying something which is very new. कभी हुआ ही नहीं है life में. हमें already we have seen 2 generations of that happening. I think the 3rd generation of that will happen with a VR device.
Interesting. So I think मतलब मैं January में just research कर रहा था, क्योंकि मैं खुद confused था कि यार मैं Oculus खरीदूं, Vive खरीदूं and whatnot. So I think I came across one Chinese brand, मेरे को अभी नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. They are going to do a launch in May, and that's going to be very cheap and very easy to use also, क्योंकि bulky नहीं होगा वो. So I think जो है ना वो चीज क्रैक हो गई है यानी कि मार्केट में.
क्रैक कर लेंगे. I believe in China's supremacy of copying things and making it cheap.
Very interesting.
So when we decided to do VR and this metaverse, we thought, hey, there are biggies there, right? Microsoft, Google, Facebook, at least are 3 people we know working on. I think Apple's also working on it silently somewhere. Yes. And then there is already this wave coming. So either you can be with the front runners, or you can come later ki, hey, we also have a VR play. So we thought ki yaar, agar karna hi hai to let's try to solve the problem the best way possible and not do tidbits of it here and there. So we'll start with VR, not VR first, but desktop first, VR enabled device, VR enabled experience. But later, once we cross the tipping point, we can always go, VR first and desktop enabled. And that happens very smoothly. कैसे आपको आज के टाइम पे you get mobile apps first and desktop apps later. Like a lot of apps I know don't not have even a desktop presence.
Yes.
Right. So वो time के साथ होता है, and you have to like very nicely Manish says this कि या तो आप वेव के पीछे रह के वेव को कैच कर सकते हो, वेव के आगे रह के तो कैच नहीं कर सकते हो. Right? तो आप वेव आपके ऊपर गिर जाएगी, तो then what do you do? So it's better to be behind the wave so that when the wave comes up, you come up with the wave, right? So we are just behind the VR wave, so that whenever VR wave comes up, we will be on top like you.
Nice. चलो अब मेरे दिमाग में क्वेश्चन आया, एंड आई डोंट थिंक आई प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दिस, एंड आई होप कि जो है ना ये किसी पीआर ने नहीं पूछा हो, ये किसी वीसी ने नहीं पूछा हो, आई होप.
ओके.
तो एजुकेशन टेक स्टार्टअप में ना द थिंग इज दैट देयर इज अ वेरी हाई चर्न ऑफ टीचर्स गोइंग ऑन. टीचर्स रिप्लेस होते रहते हैं. हाउ डू यू मेक श्योर दैट द टीचर्स आर गोइंग टू स्टे, और एंड हाउ डू यू ऑनबोर्ड न्यू टीचर्स इन दिस रिगार्ड? Because I know, you have a very wide variety of all these teachers who have decided that they're going to come on board, and they are also going to be your, investment advisors in this regard. So that is my question.
So obviously this was asked.
How
can you think this will, no VC will ask this when we are raising for EdTech? Yeah, देखो teachers का क्या है ना कि teachers is not an unsolved problem anymore. Right? You have to basically capsulize the teaching piece. So you have enough MBAs who can teach. What they don't want to do is not all of them want to create the course all the time, because that takes a lot more time. Productizing your content takes a lot more time than delivering the content. And once it is productized properly, you can find people who can deliver, right? Because they can come in over, and it's not like they have to spend too many hours. Like that's our pitch, right? You have to spend like 12 to 20 hours a week, and then your week is over. Like, you are not going to teach the entire 16-week Meta MBA course. There are 16 different teachers who are teaching. So this becomes basically like a gig for you. Once in 4 months I go and I teach, and that a lot of people do. That a lot of people are already doing in IIMs, and going as a guest lecturers,
Yes.
giving talks here and there. So we just need to democratize access to do that. You don't need to prepare course. You don't need to be the most sought out person to go to an IIM. If you want to teach, and if you can teach, and if you can work with our framework, our course, hey, here is a trial course. Try this. Try teaching it like a trial batch, trial app, and then after that, keep rotating with us. So it's very much like बोलना नहीं चाहिए, अच्छा नहीं लगता, but like how Uber democratized driving, right? Similar model. एक टाइम था आपको एक ड्राइवर रखने में कितना मुश्किल पड़ता था. ड्राइवर का चर्न रहता था कि अब गांव चला गया, कुछ हो गया. Right now you just ping and you get a driver. So I think teachers would also be like that, because people want to share their knowledge. It's like it's not just for the money they want to do this. They want to share knowledge. They also understand the pain. It's just that it's very hard today for a teacher to come up. Like, मुझे बोलते हैं लोग कि तुम कैसे पढ़ाते हो यार इतने साल से, कहाँ तुम्हें मिल जाते हैं बच्चे पढ़ाने के लिए. People want to teach, but access नहीं है ना teachers. बच्चों का access कहाँ है? या तुम YouTube पे जाओ, and then you become like the Gyani Babas, and then some people will come, and then when you start teaching, it will become so boring. Then you have to like अलग-अलग pose में you have to give ज्ञान every day. ठीक है, तो वो बड़ा मुश्किल है लोगों के लिए करना. Nobody wants to solve for distribution, for content creation, but people inherently want to teach.